Good morning, wrestling fans. Welcome to PWR Today for Monday morning. It's August 8th, 2022. The man they call Meathead. And Linda, the road warrior. Linda, you're not home yet. I have gotten messages from your apartment complex or your neighborhood or wherever the hell you're staying that tuna casserole's up and moving around. You've been gone so long. The stuff left in your fridge has grown a life of its own.
No, I said to you, I do not waste food. I made sure any perishables were eaten before leaving. Yeah, it's still on the road, uh, still down in the Ville, and we've got another big week here at OVW because Meathead. I know we're going to talk about the weekend, but
Yeah.
looking ahead, do you know that it is OVW's 1200 episode this Thursday night live at Davis Arena?
That's amazing. That's the legendary Davis Arena and 1,200 episodes. Wow. And that's all just in the last week because that's why you haven't gone home.
Exactly.
No, we kid. But Linda, what does a Monday morning look like in Louisville?
Warm, dewy.
Dewy, like Mick Foley's son dewy, or that moist dewy that people don't talk about?
On the grass, the dew. But no, it's gorgeous.
Dewdrop?
Yeah, dewy.
Oh, okay. All right. So Mountain Dewy, got it. You know, Mountain Dew came from that region of the country. That's where Mountain Dew comes from. I think Mountain Dew comes from the mountains of Tennessee, actually.
Oh.
But Linda Kay, it's here. I've got it. I am now working stiff. And I got it due to the promo code that you're going to tell us about from our friends at Collar and Elbow.
Absolutely. If you want to be working stiff as well, or just sporting any other comfortable wrestling street fashions, make sure to go to collarandelbowbrand.com. And as Meathead just said, to save 10% off your order any time of day, any day of the year, use promo code LindaK. That's LINDAKAY.
Fantastic. Hey, let's get into a little bit of news here. Now, Linda, you were at the show. You didn't know you were going to the show until the kid that wears the fanny pack was going to be there, but you had thought about going, but you were there and you saw Ric Flair's last match, the final match as it was billed. Did you think that Ric Flair was going to be done completely 100% with anything wrestling after that?
No, not at all. As you know, we do have a show in Oconomowoc, Wisconsin.
Right,
just under
exactly.
2 weeks on Saturday, August 20th as well, but I digress.
Yep. Ric Flair just recently over the weekend got into a fisticuffs at a show in Puerto Rico with Eddie Colon, father of Carlito, and the rest of the boys down there in Puerto Rico. So Ric Flair is still duking them out. Even though he had his final match, he's not above a little fisticuffs. Let me ask you an opinion, and, take this wherever you want to go with it. Take it in the direction that you see fit. Should Ric Flair be out there mixing it up?
I mean, if he's still out there just mixing it up, not having an official match, I mean, I'm okay with that. However, I think just due to the success, due to the hype, just due to the
finality,
of his final match, it just took place a week ago. Maybe you could have waited a minute, or like if he's just gonna make an appearance, cool. But get into some fisticuffs. Maybe he just can't control himself. This is the love of wrestling, the love of the art, and that was a week ago, and now we know just like 2 weeks pretty much from today we will have him in Wisconsin. So
yeah, I don't mind appearances. I guess
right.
I just
the one in Wisconsin is an appearance. Let's
yes.
Make that clear. But
unless Cal gets froggy with him, you never know. There might be some fisticuffs thrown there. Maybe the Nature Boy and Cal go at it. Who's to say?
I mean, rumor has it I might be in the ring in a different capacity as well. Maybe
you go a one-on-one with the Nature Boy. Yes. I don't know what's going to happen.
Exactly. So you got to make it out there.
All right. Well, we had a pretty big weekend of wrestling. We had stuff on Smackdown. Obviously, OVW going strong down in the Ville. Smackdown. We also had Rampage, and Saturday night we had Battle of the Belts 3. Let's get into some of the results from over the weekend. Linda Kay, first off, Smackdown. I love everything that's going on right now. However, I find myself in life, as you know well enough now, I don't want to ride along the wave of everybody else's excitement with it. I pull back a little bit with some just trepidation, right? the Triple H regime, as it's being called now, as it's being coined, as it's being said, there's some changes already happening. We've seen a bunch of different things going on with Raw. We've seen things with SmackDown. We've seen things with SummerSlam. The big news coming out of Friday Night SmackDown, we'll run down some of the stuff that happened as well. TikTok, Linda. TikTok. Killer Kross and Scarlett back in WWE, back on SmackDown now. And after Karrion Kross goes after Drew McIntyre, Scarlett places the hourglass in the ring, and they look at Roman and say, TikTok, is Karrion Kross soon to be the next big champion?
I'm not sure if the titles would change hands so quickly to him, but I mean, it's obvious here. He's in that mix. He's inserting himself with Scarlett into that mix. But might I just say, number one, so happy. I mean, just hearing that music, because we remember that entrance
they
had on NXT. One of the best, I think, of all time to me personally. I loved it. I loved the darkness about it.
Pray.
Yeah, the theatrics, just the black and white settings, and we even got that. It was like black and white whenever they were on.
Did you know the second it went black and white around Drew? Did you know it? Did you feel it? Did you pop?
Yeah.
Oh,
absolutely. Yeah. And also, when Karrion Kross was brought up to the main shows and he was on Raw, we didn't get Scarlett, so now we get Scarlett. Tremendous. Yes. And I love it too. And while it's still Karrion Kross and Scarlett, it's a little bit different in that, he didn't have to have his head shaved. He didn't have to have the helmet or whatever he had on last time. This is the Karrion Kross we got from NXT. And Scarlett,
honestly,
still wearing
it's not even Karrion Kross. It's not even Karrion Kross from NXT. That's Killer Kross. Yes. Is what that is right there. That's the version we've always wanted. Karrion Kross in NXT was very close to that version. That's Killer Kross right there.
Yeah, so that was huge, a huge surprise, and another, again, I know you just said you didn't want to fall into, I don't want to say everyone's hype or excitement, but yeah, it's hard for me not to feel excited about this shift, if you will, now that Triple H is officially taking the reins.
Yeah, the Roman Reigns. Yeah, there you go. Let's talk about SmackDown from Friday night. First off, Shinsuke Nakamura defeats Ludwig Kaiser to earn a future Intercontinental Championship match against Gunther. And Gunther is none too happy. I mean, has Gunther ever smiled? Or Walter? Have they ever smiled? Because he's got like resting grimace face.
I don't believe so. Even though he finds pleasure in pain, I don't think we've ever seen a smiling act on either of the guys.
Is Gunther, grimacing the new meme that's going to be out there? I mean, he's got a resting, like, grumpy face.
Well, I mean, that's definitely his demeanor, his attitude, so it's very fitting.
Yep. Also, Ricochet defeats Happy Corbin. Ricochet with a big win. Ricochet, shucking and jiving around Happy Corbin backstage. And, by the way, Pat McAfee, I know I'm going backwards here, but Pat McAfee with the telestrator on Happy Corbin's balls.
I mean, all of that. It made me think about one of my favorite Mad TV skits back in the day. Was a John Madden popcorn machine.
And the guy doing John Madden on Mad TV is none other than the great Frank Caliendo, who's from
Waukesha, Wisconsin.
Waukesha, Wisconsin, home of Blizzard Brawl and the Waukesha County Expo Center, otherwise known as the GLCW Arena. Ricochet defeating Happy Corbin, and then, like I said, Shinsuke defeating Ludwig Kaiser. The King of Strong Style facing off against the Ring General's trusted ally. Now, Liv Morgan in the ring, and I want to ask your opinion on this. Liv Morgan being interviewed, was she getting boos in the crowd?
Yes.
Did you hear that?
Yes, and
did it happen that fast?
Shit that she said twice in there. I think that was shoot.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I meant. Because this was something you and Matthew touched on, and is it not necessarily, is it too soon to put it Maker's Champ, but is it being pushed too much that now the fans got their yay moment, and now they're just giving her that treatment? And I didn't think that would happen so soon. I mean, she's was such a fan favorite, and it's not like it was given. I personally don't feel it was given to her too quickly. I mean, she's been sniffing around the title for quite a while now, and I was thrilled when she got it. But that being said, I don't
You
know
said it
if it was
great. Her yay moment is over.
I don't know if that South Carolina crowd was just not into her, but that was odd because, and I think part of it is just because the whole her winning against Ronda, but due to it,
Not really winning.
yeah, and then the you tapped out chance, and just interesting. That was very kabuki-ish.
Okay. Well, Shayna Baszler is going to be part of a match later on. But first off, Sonia Deville, she called Liv Morgan a fraud. And what this sets up is the SmackDown Women's Championship Gauntlet match. First off, Sonia Deville defeats Aaliyah. I didn't think there was going to be any chance that Aaliyah had this, but Sonya Deville got defeated by Raquel Rodriguez. Now, in matches like these, we talk about like Royal Rumble, or we talk about, these beat the clock matches or whatever. You can make two people at least in these kind of matches. You can make the person that wins, and you can make somebody that's like the gladiator throughout the match. They did that. They got a winner in Sonya Deville, not Sonya Deville. I'm sorry, Shayna Baszler. But they made a warrior out of Raquel Rodriguez, because Raquel Rodriguez went through Sonya Deville, went through Shotzi, went through Xia Li, and then beat Natalya, finally losing to Shayna Baszler. Shayna Baszler gets made by being the champion. Raquel Rodriguez gets made by winning all of these matches.
Absolutely. I thought maybe Raquel had a shot at winning this, but then again, I was like, wait, Liv is a face champion, so maybe not. So once she kept winning and winning and winning, I thought that same thing, Meathead, and I was thinking it was possibly going to be Natty then, just because Natty and Shayna still have some unfinished business, I feel, from being the tag champs. But no, they, they're out with Shayna Baszler coming in, and boom, there we go. Now she's got her title shot at Clash at the Castle. That's insane.
Hey, you know what you just mentioned too? That's going to get brought up in just a second now, like right now, from the tag team championships. Ladies and gentlemen, announced on Friday night, the vacated titles will be worn again. Somebody's going to win this tournament. And I think this is the perfect time to do it, because we have this, again, quote unquote, Triple H regime. We have three women that just returned at SummerSlam. We have this refreshing of the women's division. I think two more talents may be showing up in WWE very, very soon. They just did an appearance recently over the weekend, and I think they're primed to come back.
Yeah, I do believe you are speaking of Sasha and Naomi. We're just at C2E2 in Chicago.
Gonzute.
Yes. That sure seems like it could head that way. Rumor says, at least.
Yep. How about the Viking Raiders defeating a team by the name of Jim Polkey and Tommy Gibson?
Hey, how about
I'm not sure who these gentlemen are, but thanks for stopping by.
Yeah. Well, how about Kofi then coming in? That kendo stick,
And Kofi gets a win over Eric in singles action as well. How about that?
That's great. We want some more. I'm still hoping for that huge New Day return, meeting all three of them very, very soon, Meathead.
Big E's working on it. He's working on it. He will get there. Yeah. Now, let's talk about all throughout the night. The honorary Uce back on TV as well. Sami Zayn. I liked the Usos playing good cop, bad cop on him, because he had, and I'm not even going to bother trying to say it because I might get it right and I might get it wrong, but you had one Uce being the good cop, one Uce being the bad cop, and then at the end, they yell at Sami. He goes, you know what? I'll tell you what. You need to do something right. Otherwise, we might have to take that shirt off of you, playa, or something like that. I mean, but I thought it was absolutely phenomenal, because Sami's trying to get into the room, trying to talk to, Roman Reigns, with Paul Heyman being F5 through an announce table. He's gone. And then we get to the promo between the Bloodline, and Roman Reigns says, yeah, I hate Brock Lesnar too. He put our wise man through the table. Hurry back soon.
Yeah. And then here was my biggest takeaway from SmackDown, Meathead. I think you might know where I'm going here.
Yes.
Drew McIntyre. Pretty much one of the first things he says is, yes, we got it. Our tribal queef. Oh, what? I
Ah,
had to rewind that, and then I put it in caption because I'm like, I'm wondering if this is if
well.
they're gonna catch this on closed captioning. And Meathead disappointed.
And how does it
It said
spell, Linda?
no. It said tribal chief
Okay.
via closed captioning, but no, it's not what I heard. But again, I digress.
Well, closed captioning can be a little wonky because if you're watching any of the A&E biographies, whenever they say in the World Wrestling Federation, the captioning says entertainment.
Oh,
So these are all pre-done. So you can make the captioning say whatever you want. If you hear queef, Linda, then you heard a queef. All right. Thank you. I'll be here all week. So Drew McIntyre confronts Roman Reigns. Remember, Drew McIntyre, Roman Reigns. I'm still laughing over it. Will have their match at Clash at the Castle right before AEW's All Out pay-per-view in Chicago. But then things got a little black and white. And Drew turns. And who's that over? I think that's Scarlett. And then out of nowhere, literally like an RKO, Drew McIntyre attacked by somebody in a black leather jacket with red on his sleeve. And I'm like, boy, that looks like Killer Kross to me. Not even, it doesn't even look like Karrion Kross. That looks like Killer Kross. I thought the announcers kept it long enough. Is that, that can't be. That's Karrion Kross. Yes. Welcome back, Karrion Kross. Welcome back, Scarlett.
That is huge. Again, just a big surprise in this shakeup. I figured we would get a lot of huge returns or unexpected returns, I should say, but seeing Karrion, Killer, and Scarlett back on, I really think
that's Killer Kross, honestly. I mean, I know it's Karrion Kross, but that might be the presentation of Killer Kross that we should be getting.
Mm-hmm. Well, through audio and closed captioning, it's Karrion. So I'm go Karrion Kross there.
If you hear a queef, then it was a queef. I mean, it is what it is. Let's move on. Corey Graves says that over the weekend, apparently Carmella was injured at a house show. We're hoping that everything is going okay with her as well. Let's move on to AEW and Rampage. And on Saturday night, we had Battle of the Belts. Linda, did you get to check out Rampage?
Absolutely. I mean, especially knowing that our current or if you saw the pay-per-view this past weekend, Saturday Night Right, I'm not sure if she's still current. You gotta check it out on Fight Plus. But we had Layla Gray, our wonderful OVW superstar, on Rampage facing Madison Rayne, which was huge, with that
the debuting Madison Rayne.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it was announced she'd be coaching the women there at AEW, but having her in-ring debut with AEW this past week on Rampage is against Layla Gray. So I definitely had to watch that one.
That's absolutely tremendous. So Rampage, again, probably one of the fastest, most action-packed hours that you're ever going to get in wrestling. First off, it starts off with Jon Moxley and the winner of the Buckhouse Battle Royal, Mance Warner. Now, a little bit of news to go with this too. Linda, this wasn't in our little briefing that we have beforehand. The reason they were able to show footage from the Ric Flair's final match is they worked out a deal between AEW and Conrad Thompson, as far as, hey, we're going to have, Mance Warner on, so here's some talent. They kind of arranged a deal. You can film here, we can film there, and so forth. Apparently, over the weekend at the Ric Flair pay-per-view, there was WWE cameras that were also looking to get into the building, but they could never come to a deal as far as having their own separate documentary cameras there in the building.
Interesting. Yeah. I mean, we're going to continue this Forbidden Door talk. That this is another one
that's another one, yeah.
Happened, yeah.
All right, so let's start with Jon Moxley, the champion, in an eliminator match against Mance Warner. Not only did he win that pay-per-view, Battle Royal, but he got himself a non-title match against the world champion of AEW. Looked good, really represented himself well. Unfortunately, the winner and still champion, Jon Moxley. I never say his name right, and I'm hoping that you'll get it right for me. Konosuke Takeshita. Again, I'm always.
I believe it's Takeshita.
I think it's Takeshita. Yeah. I got to get better at his name. He took on the Hollywood Blonde, Ryan Nemeth, whose brother also was at that Ric Flair pay-per-view, gave a congratulatory speech, Dolph Ziggler, his brother. Big win for Takeshita. And then Lexi Nair interviewed Orange Cassidy and the Best Friends at Dynamite, who said they'll be throwing their names into the trios competition.
Yeah. Let's keep on building that. I mean, we're finally, especially with the Best Friends, this is quite prevalent, giving the people what they want.
That's right. Madison Rayne in her AEW debut match took on the aforementioned Layla Gray, who came out with Stokely Hathaway. So Layla, does that make her officially a baddie? She doesn't need to be labeled baddie to prove it, though.
Yeah, I think it's more so it's Stokely just keep on pushing her there, even though Jade and Kira Hogan are still a little on the fence, it seems. But hey, Stokely Hathaway's persistent, and we're still getting Layla Gray.
They mentioned in a commentary, he must have printed off like 1,000 cards because he's handing them out to everybody.
Yeah. I've been seeing that, yes.
Yeah. Jade Cargill had said on the ramp afterwards, there's an open challenge this Wednesday. Is Madison Rayne going to be taking on Jade Cargill for the TBS Championship?
That, I believe, has been confirmed.
Quake at the Lake.
Quake the Lake, yes.
Yeah. Quakey Lakey or whatever it's called. But
Quake, queef, same thing.
You hear queef, then it was a queef. All right. By the way, those words will never be spoken on another episode here of PWR Today. We're just getting it all out right now. Got to get a queef out. All right. AEW World Tag Team Champions Swerve in Our Glory, Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland. They took on Josh Woods and the premier athlete Tony Nese with Smart Mark Sterling, the winners and still champions, Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland. Does WWE look at a bunch of these NXT talents or these, the NXT talents that moved up to Raw or SmackDown and say, man, we could have done something with these guys. Look at how they're doing on AEW.
I would believe so. I mean, obviously, you're always going to keep a close eye on the competition, and it's just amazing how things can just be so different on just how someone is utilized. But, it's interesting. I think this just leaves it open for more conversation. Maybe if it doesn't go so well in one promotion, they can be welcomed back and presented a different way. Just a evolving door.
Oh yeah, the revolving door. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
The revolving forbidden door. Let's get into Battle of the Belts 3, which was taped right after Rampage on Friday night from what was that, Grand Rapids, Michigan, I believe.
Yeah. Yep.
Wardlow took on Jay Lethal. Wardlow, the TNT championship. He also had Jay Lethal, had Satnam Singh and Sanjay Dutt alongside. They teased a little bit between Satnam Singh and Wardlow. Wardlow looked like he was about to give him a powerbomb symphony, but then got attacked.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would love to see how many powerbombs, if it ever comes to that point, that would be a part of that symphony.
Thunder Rosa and Toni Storm on her side took on Jamie Hayter with Britt Baker, DMD, and Rebel, and Thunder Rosa defending the AEW Women's Championship. The winner and still champion Thunder Rosa via pinfall. However, in this match, Jamie Hayter apparently broke her nose during a move where she got laid out and Thunder Rosa came down. The knee hit the face, and apparently Jamie Hayter's got a broken nose.
Well, hopefully it's not. I mean, I don't know if there's different levels, like severities of a broken nose, but hopefully she's okay and still actively on each week.
Let's hope.
Or maybe not as active. I don't think I would.
Right.
Maybe just, I meant like at least at ringside.
She should get a Cody Rhodes mask and wrestle in that.
Mm-hmm.
Or a Carmella mask, because remember that had more like, bedazzling on it.
Oh, that's right.
ROH champion Claudio Castagnoli with Wheeler Yuta and William Regal at his side. Takeshita. See, he wrestled back-to-back nights, which actually was twice in the same night, because it was done in the same night on Friday. For the Ring of Honor World Championship, the winner and still champion, Claudio Castagnoli via pinfall.
Yeah, I figured Claudio would still retain here as well, but hey, this Blackpool Combat Club just still pushing, showing how strong they are, and I don't think there's really anything that really deviate from this uphill just evolution, if you will.
That evolution, yep, gotcha. Hey,
no, evolution. Is that what we're the elevation?
Elevation, there we go.
Sorry, it's early.
You might need to come back to the Central Standard Time. I mean, because something's going on with you in the Eastern Standard Time down in the Ville.
I don't even know where I am, Meathead.
So, yeah, I understand. Hey, let me ask you this. This is the third Battle of the Belts, and out of the three of them, I think there's only been one title change in, let's say, 9 matches. Do they need to freshen it up before they do another one?
Yeah, I believe so. I think maybe the next time around, maybe have all 3, if there's going to be 3 title changes happen. Shake things up.
That would have to be live. I think they wouldn't be able to do the same formula. Like if they're going to tape it, right after a Rampage on Friday, it's going to have to be live. Otherwise, the AEW changes 3 titles in one night.
Then we'll make it live. We'll make it into a special Dynamite.
Oh, you know what we could do? We'll do it live. Sorry, I went back into Pro Wrestling Report days right there with Damien for a second.
Tremendous.
That tremendous indeed. Sorry, Big D. I didn't mean to mention your name there. All right, for Linda Kay, the man to call Meathead, what do we got coming up this week, Linda? Do we got normal schedules? Are you coming home to Wisconsin at some point?
I do believe so, briefly, as I will then be back for the 1200 episode.
Get home and throw that tuna casserole out.
Yeah, but our schedule should still be as it normally is. But just saying, to everyone, we had a tremendous pay-per-view this past Saturday at Davis Arena for OVW. Saturday Night Riot. And there's a deal right now with Fight Plus. Well, first of all, you can catch OVW live every Thursday night,
right.
7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Mountain. There you go, Matthew. For our weekly television show for free. But there's a special deal on Fight Plus right now where you can catch the replay of this past Saturday's pay-per-view and get our end of summer pay-per-view. It's called The Big One. The Big One. That's going to take place.
Kind of like Aerosmith CD, The Big Ones.
Yes, so this one's the big one, and it's going to take place Saturday, August 27th. 2 huge pay-per-views this month, and if you go on to Fight Plus and subscribe to that, you can either do the annual Fight Plus or the monthly. For the month of August, only $4.95. You can catch both of OVW's pay-per-views this month. Fantastic. So just letting you know, throwing that out there. If you've missed it, definitely check it out. I'm still reeling about how exciting it was. I got to do all the backstage interviews, and just normally I do a little bit of the ring announcing, sometimes a little bit of both. I strictly did the backstage interviews, and that was wonderful. It really great storytelling. Check it out, everyone. OVW is it's on the rise.
All right, well, for Matthew Thomas, who we'll hear from this week, and for Linda Kay, we'll talk to you tomorrow morning. So long, everyone.